Daystate Red Wolf review by AirGhandi.
Daystate Red Wolf Heritage, Huben K1 at the shooting range.
Steyr Pro X.
Servus, thanks for dropping in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for dropping in and welcome to today's video. Today I have a true masterpiece for you. Today I'm showing you the Daystate Red Wolf. Well, I informed my colleagues, I talked about my notes for this video and they said, don't make the video too long. Nobody wants to watch an endless video. Try to keep it short and simple. And that's what I'm doing today. The Daystate Red Wolf is the most amazing air rifle I have ever shot. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next week. Ciao, servus, AirGhandi. Yeah, well, of course, that was just a joke. We all need that from time to time. But seriously, I'm trying to focus on the highlights today. And there will be further videos in the future. Today is the review with compact information, the most important information about this incredibly beautiful airgun. Taste the fur. I can remember, well, I think it was my first EVA, or at least it was a couple years ago. I was walking over the EVA gun fair in Nuremberg, pretty clueless, honestly. I knew there were PCP guns and spring pistons, but I really didn't know much about any brands and so on. So I walked over the fair alone and I reached the Daystate booth with the Red Wolf in red and blue next to each other. And I stood there awestruck and thought, wow, I haven't seen anything like this before. And then some Englishman addressed me, probably somebody famous from the company, no clue. And he said, well, isn't that a beautiful gun? And I was super perplexed and basically paralyzed and just said, yes. And then I left it. That was my first contact with Daystate Red Wolf Midnight. Midnight is the blue version. You can see here a special edition. There's also a red version, which is probably the most famous. And then there's one with a walnut stock for the classic fans. And there's a safari stock with a roughly structured wooden stock. I decided to show you the blue version today, just because it is my personal favorite. But thank God, taste the fur. But that's why I ordered this one from our storage, and I'm looking forward to this video for days now. And I can promise you it's worth staying to the end. You can already see the length of the video, but still I want to say, of course it will be a long video. If you are not interested in the technical part, the Chrony test, shooting test, down below you can see different stops in the timeline. That's where you can jump to the parts that interest you the most. Or if you rewatch the video, just watch the parts that are most important to you. I can't compress this video to 10 minutes. There's just too much details and it's a technical masterpiece, even a piece of art, and I just have to invest some time. You just decide for yourself what interests you the most. The Red Wolf is the final product of 20 years development of electronically regulated airguns. And this year it proved several times how good this works. The Field Target World Champion 2023, Lauren Parson, won her title with this gun. In the extreme bench rest competition, the gun won the Speed Silhouette, amongst others, and further international titles. Now you can get it in 7.5 Joule in my shop, and today I'll show you how incredibly well this gun performs. The barrels have been developed for this 7.5 Joule gun specifically. They didn't just take the existing ones and regulated the gun down. The software has also been adapted to 7.5 Joule and all parts are fine-tuned to harmonize perfectly. I'd say we'll get into it now. Let's start with the specs from front to the end. The gun has a length of 99 centimeters and weighs 3,500 gram. I mounted a silencer already. I mounted it on the half-inch UNF thread. You also get a cap in the box to hide this thread. And you can buy the silencer separately at jabolo.de/en. It is the 0 dB, just a 0 and then dB. It's a 0 dB 160S, and the cool thing is we not only have the black version, but also a blue one fitting the Midnight and a red one for the red Daystate Red Wolf. A 43 centimeter barrel is hidden under this carbon shroud. Carbon shroud means the barrel is already silenced. The barrel is not the same as in a 16 joule or the FIC version, but it's specifically produced for the German 7.5 joule version, and it harmonizes perfectly with the software. I won't say much more now, I'll just prove it to you later in a shooting test. Here we have a 460 cubic cartridge, and now it gets really exciting. The cartridge is filled with a maximum pressure of 180 bar. This sounds a bit low. We are used to have around 200, 230, 250 and even 300 bar. Here we are filling this gun up to 180 bar. These 180 bar are also noted on this little sticker in case you forget how far up you can go. Okay, now the reach of this bottle is basically almost endless. You can shoot a minimum of 500 shots with one filling. And how we get to this incredible reach, I'll explain to you now. Up front, you have the 480 cubic carbon bottle. In the back, you have the electronically regulated system. In between is a highly sensible pressure sensor. This sensor measures not only down to the bar, as shown here, but down to 2 post-decimal positions. This means it registers differences. For example, if I just press the bottle here, the sensor already registers a difference in the bottle pressure. Another example, if you want to shoot a competition out in the 30-degree sun and then enter a forest with only 20 degrees, the bottle pressure changes and the sensor registers it. Or grabbing the gun from your warm car and then shooting at 0 degrees outside. Or the other way around, you grab it from the cold car and then enter your shooting hole and have 20 degrees indoor. All these differences are registered by this precision sensor, and it reports the perfect pressure back, so you get perfect consistency no matter the surroundings. This is an unbelievable killer feature. The gun is also all-weather proof, which many shooters confirmed by shooting it in heavy rain. Of course, when shooting a 3-hour competition in the pouring rain, I recommend removing the system from the stock afterwards, drying both separately and building it back together afterwards, so you're good to go again. Another thing to mention is also the shaft care. Rub it down after shooting to remove sweat from your hands and cheek. Yeah, rub it down, use shaft oil 2 to 3 times a year so it stays fresh, the colors stay vibrant, and it stays sturdy. Yeah, just my recommendation. We started talking about the stock, and I can't stop raving about it. For me, the most beautiful stock I have ever seen. Every stock is unique. Every stock has its own graining. Yeah, it pleases your hand. No sharp corners, no grades, no nothing on this stock. We have a beautifully lasered logo, a nice punching on the grip, a perfect cutout for the display here. Look at this huge screw down here. The shaft is held by only one single screw. Down here is the cutout for the Foster quick fill filling piece, which is adapted to the gun, and you won't need a separate adapter. You have a magnetic cap protecting it. Yeah, just perfect craftsmanship. Down here on the grip you can see the cartridge for the rechargeable battery, which is the next topic I want to talk about. The battery is basically just like your smartphone battery. it will work many, many, many years, but of course it will get older and lose a bit of its capacity. So you will not charge every 100 days, but maybe every 90 days. I got used to loading it once a month because I shoot a lot, same with my Alpha Wolf. And like this, I can make sure to have enough power for several thousand shots whenever I get started. If the battery dies in 5 or 10 years, you can get a new one at javolo.de/em. What I didn't mention about the stock yet, of course it is fully adaptable. You can see that I already raised the cheek piece a bit. You just open this screw here with a 4mm invis key, and you can adapt it in 3D by tilting, inclining, and changing the height. Same goes for the butt plate in the back, also adaptable with one single screw, so you can change the height. On top is an 11mm prism rail, a very long rail that gives you the option to place the scope further in the front or back to fit perfectly to your perfect eye distance. I'm using a high mount, the Sportsmatch ATP61, which is height adjustable. And how to mount your scope, just search mounting and sighting in on this channel and you will find my video. With this video, every shooter was able to set up their scope perfectly for their gun. Optionally, in my shop you can buy PRS parts. That's PRS Engineering from England, and we listed them at the same time as Daystate. They offer some tuning parts for the Red Wolf and others. There's a Picatinny rail. You can mount up here to use Picatinny parts. If you want to use a bipod, there's a high quality rail to mount down here. I will show it later in a video. It's gonna arrive soon and I will mount it on the gun, but today I want to show it how it leaves the factory. There's also a fully adaptable butt plate from PRS Engineering. I will also mount it and show you in a separate video. Next on the list is the display here. The display holds some relevant info for you. The display activates as you switch off the safety, the manual safety back here. I can then activate the safety again to not give a shot without wanting it. The display still stays on. On the display you see several things. First, you see the pressure that's in the bottle, in the top line. First, you can show, you don't have to, how many shots are left in the magazine. So yeah, you basically have a pellet counter. Then you can see the actual power setting. This one is set to high. The gun has 3 power settings, high, medium and low, and you can choose separately. In our 7.5 Joule gun, of course, you get the perfect 7.5 Joule on high. And how perfect it is set up, you will see in the Chrony test later. And you can see that nothing is left to chance and that so much love and effort was put into this gun to make it just perfect front to end. You can also set how long the sleep timer is on, meaning when the gun deactivates if you don't use it. You can set it to 15 minutes or even up to 4 hours. If you shoot a competition, you don't want it to switch off in between, so yeah. Back here you can see S0, which means 0 shots have been taken with the gun. Of course, I took a few shots with the gun before, but you can reset the counter anytime. So let's say you're out for a shooting weekend and want to know how many shots you took. Just reset the counter before you start and let the counter do its thing. Yeah, cool little feature. You can also set the display illumination. I set it to switch off illumination after 15 seconds. So it's then still on, but not illuminated. You can also set illumination to always on or always off. Of course, This affects your battery runtime, but honestly, the battery holds for so long it's basically not relevant even if it's always on. Just do as you please. The electrical power regulation still is not the only electrical thing on this gun. You also have an electrical trigger, and this is where it gets really crazy. This trigger sets new standards. It is not comparable to any mechanical trigger. The competitive shooters amongst you may know electrical triggers. If you shoot Steyr, no clue if Feinwerkbau also offers this, can't say for sure. But from Steyr, I know that their top-of-the-line pistols have electrical triggers. And I think there are also air rifles with electrical triggers, and you have to admit it's the best there is. I'd say, so we finally do something practical. Let's take the trigger weight test. I'm telling you right away, I will never change anything on this trigger, but of course you can change pre-travel, pressure point, and the trigger weight. But I'll be damned if I change anything. It also won't change on its own. It's perfectly set up in the factory, and that's how it stays on my gun. But to find out what the set weight is, we'll take the test now. Okay, I'm switching the safety off. I push the lever, tell you more about that later. But you saw how much power I needed to do it. Don't stop. Kilogram and gram. Yep. The trigger is set to 83 gram, and like I said, you can change it even more. Yes, this is absolutely match grade. There's nothing more than that. Period. Man, the thing is great. Well, at the trigger test, you just saw that you need no force at all to repeat the gun. The reason is that we don't trigger a mechanical action with this movement. We are not mechanically turning the magazine because it's a self-indexing magazine, which means it automatically turns to the next shot. So we just push the next pellet from the magazine or the single shot adapter, which also comes in the box, into the barrel without using any force. I'm just showing you the magazine. If you saw my review for the Huntsman Revolver, you already know this magazine because it is exactly the same. You have a magnetic lid. The whole thing's made of metal without any plastic, and it's milled super precisely. You turn the drum clockwise and fill in the first pellet, so it holds automatically. Then you just fill in the other 12 shots, meaning we have a 13-shot magazine, caliber 4.5 millimeters, 0.177, and then you close the magnetic lid again. The magazine can hold very long slugs and pellets, even while we might not shoot it with 7.5 joule. Even the bees and pointed Diabolos, just put them in, it's no problem at all. Today I will, you know my speech, shoot the single shot adapter because I can concentrate better with it. I talked about the safety. Red dot means it's live, like this. The safety is on, so you don't shoot unwillingly. Touch the trigger only if you are willing to shoot. 80 gram trigger weight is absolutely crazy. Okay, my mouth is super dry now. I'll take a sip of water, rearrange the studio, and then we finally get to the Chrony test and the shooting test. Let me tell you, it's gonna be worth watching, and I'm super happy and excited. See you at the table. Have fun, guys. We made it to the Chrony test of the Daystate Red Wolf. I'm loading the magazine. I'll use it for the Chrony test because it's faster. Turn the drum clockwise first. Put in the first pellet head first. then fill in the next 12 pellets, so 13 overall. We are shooting Air Arms Diabolos, field 8.4 grain, 0.547 gram, caliber 4.52 millimeters. Look at a close-up of the backside of the magazine. You can see a little silver metal pin. This pin is responsible for the perfect positioning of the magazine in the system. And right now the pin is placed, so you can, let me show you, slide in the magazine from the right side. It pulls itself magically into position thanks to the magnets. And yeah, then you slid it in from the right. If you switch the pin to the other side, you also can, if you like it better, slide in the magazine from the left. Okay, we loaded the Diabolos. Let me check where we are shooting. Yep, we can shoot there. We are taking 10 shots to check the consistency and the power of this gun. Have fun, guys. And the last one. Sure. So, we have a spread from 164 to 166 meters, which is a spread of 2 meters per second. Standard deviation from the average is 0.4 meters per second. Perfect 7.5 joule. You see, Daystate doesn't just send us some guns that have been choked down half-heartedly for the German market. Instead, they have been perfected. 0.4 meters per second. I think, yeah, it is the best result, the best consistency I ever had in a Chrony test. Of course, I set a new standard with the Huntsman Rebirth. Everybody who prefers a mechanical or mechanically regulated airgun should go and watch my review of the Daystate Huntsman Rebirth. I got my best shooting result of all time with it. The best one I got in 500 videos. I then repeated the test over 28 yards, and if my content plan is unchanged, it should go live in 2 days. And it will be top of its class again. So I raised the bar quite high with the Huntsman, and I'm curious if I can repeat it with the Red Wolf. I have to warm my fingers a bit. They are dead cold right now, but then we'll take the shooting test. So let's go, guys. Here we are at the shooting test with the Daystate Red Wolf Midnight. We are shooting a 12 yards distance with Air Arms Field Diabolos 4.52 millimeters, 0.547 gram. Of course, I pushed the limit with the Huntsman Rebirth, the most precise gun I ever shot. Still, now I want to try and be as good again. Let's get started. Have fun, guys. Distance 12 yards. Repeating needs no force at all, back and forth. The trigger is, yeah, well, a dream come true. I keep my cheek in place today so I won't get a parallax error and lower my result. The gun is a cheek and hand pleaser. It feels fantastic resting your head here and holding the grip. It's absolutely, absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. The trigger You have a little pre-travel, then you imagine the shot and you just take it. Of course, you should look at the pellets before inserting them. And you can see, if I don't blow it, this will be a crazy good result. It's just crazy. Okay, one more to go. As sweet as candy. I love this thing. Let's take a closer look at the result. This is absolutely insane. I don't know if it's 4.9, 5.0, 4.8. Where does the spread start? Where does it end? It's super hard to measure in the 0 point something area. The gun is perfection. It blows me away. Carbon shell, electric regulation, an unbelievable stock, unbelievable consistency, set up perfectly to 7.5 joule. I'm missing the words to praise this gun. I'll just keep on shooting a bit. I could stop the test by now, but then it would be really short. And I want to show you that it can be repeated. I'll keep shooting while I'll keep on raving about the gun, because that's what it's gonna be for the rest of the test. On my blog airghandi.de/en, below my reviews, I always rate precision, material, craftsmanship, and so on. I also add positive and negative highlights, so please recommend negative aspects of this gun. What could I write there? Because I'm clueless. I have no idea. I'll just keep on shooting. I'll enjoy the smooth repeating. Like I said, perfectly set up for 7.5 joule. It won't get better, it just won't. Nothing more to say. Of course I will take a 28 yards test, you bet. I just have to check when I can use the shooting range. I need to have time and it has to be available. And so close to Christmas, it's getting closer to Christmas. It's all a bit more hectic, but I try to get there as soon as possible. Even just for myself, because it's super cool. If I don't blow it, I can go on for another hour. Of course, the Diabolos are out of the box. You can see I just grab in and take them. Not washed, not sorted, not weighed. I bet there's room for improvement even. I also haven't tested any Diabolos beside these. So maybe others work even better. And shoot 4.5 millimeter pellets in 4.4 millimeter holes. But jokes aside, what's more to gain? No matter the competition, you don't need more. Well, I don't know. Everybody who thinks shooting into the same hole is boring, just skip to the result in the timeline. I'll take another 5 shots, so you see this is no coincidence. And otherwise there's nothing left to prove here. I love the simplicity of the handling. Maybe some of you were scared of, like, oh, electronic or whatever. No, there's nothing to it. Switch on and off, safety on and off, and then you shoot. It's nothing else. The rest is done by the gun. I'll take one more shot. Well, it also went into the same hole. See you at the result. This is the result. Just perfection, period. There's nothing more to say about this gun. A top consistency, and I bet if you weigh the pellets to find the ones with the same weight and head size and so on, I bet you could be even better. 0.4 meters deviation, you won't see the difference even over 28 yards. It just gets the max out of 7.5 joules. A lot of guns end up at 6.5 or 6 joules and still cost a lot of money. No, this gun is all thought through. Who do I recommend this gun to? Everybody who searches for the perfect gun. Every competitive shooter. The gun shoots better than I will ever be able to shoot in my lifetime. That's a fact. I will never make use of the full precision of this gun. Every bench rest shooter, every attic sniper, every hunter field target shooter, every field target shooter, every shooter that loves the fantastic look and an art piece with fantastic precision, perfection and quality. I know I'm just babbling away. I'm really out of words today. For me personally, it is the best airgun I ever tested. I know the tastes differ. Some people want airguns for home defense, then this is definitely the wrong gun. But if you want a perfect piece of technique which gets the maximum out of the 7.5 joule we are limited to, and if you want to make sure to get the maximum precision, the Daystate Red Wolf is the right gun for you. I hope I don't step on somebody's toes with this. Everybody can have a different view on it. Everybody's got their own taste and likes other guns more, which is totally fine. I have my fun with this one. I'll still shoot my Air Arms S400 competitively. I also greatly enjoy that model. Sure, 2,800 euro are not cheap at all. I'm aware of that, but this is the Bugatti Veyron amongst the air guns. The McLaren, I don't know what else to say. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm really curious for your comments. Do you see it as I do, or am I completely wrong and you have a different opinion? Just leave a comment, and if you have open questions, just contact me, AirGhandi@jabolo.de. Thanks again and take care. Ciao, servus, says AirGhandi.